Call of Duty Zombies. It's a series I've been playing for as long as I can remember. From being too scared to play with dogs on in Black Ops 2 Town, to reaching round 115, I've done it all. And over my time playing the series, I've seen the games continuously experiment and evolve, for better or for worse. Today it's hard to think of zombies as anything but a major selling point in every COD release, with vast storylines, lore, and spectacle packed into each and every new map. But that wasn't always the case. There was a time when zombies was just a basic horde mode made in the developers' free time. Things like perks, wonder weapons, and even characters were seen as huge innovations in World at War and Black Ops 1. So when did the shift occur? When did COD Zombies go from that bare-bones, casual experience to break up the monotony of multiplayer to what we know it as today? Well, I'd argue that shift began on August 23rd, 2011, with the release of Moon. Moon shook up the Zombies formula in ways that no other Zombies map before did. The ambition of Moon was unmatched. It was by far the largest Zombies map at the time. It introduced multiple new mechanics, it went out of its way to create a unique and immersive atmosphere, and it was the first map to put real emphasis on and get people to notice the overarching storyline of the series that had previously taken a backseat to most players. So, did all this innovation to the Zombies formula work? Is Moon Black Ops 1's masterpiece that ushered in a golden era of zombies? Hell no. Moon is an absolute disaster of a map, where the developers clearly bit off way more than they could chew. For every good thing in Moon, I can name about 5 others that piss me off and absolutely ruin the map. This video is a response to my friend Duck, who recently made a video claiming that Moon was, objectively, the best Zombies map. So, I'm making this to prove him wrong. If you haven't seen his video, don't worry, this will be a standalone breakdown of Moon, but make sure to check out Duck's video when you're done here. Additionally, I'll largely be focusing on the Black Ops 3 version of Moon, since that's the definitive version of the map, and it's just easier to capture footage of. But know that most of what I say will apply to both versions of Moon, unless I specify. With that out of the way, let's get into why Moon is an objectively bad Zombies map. Moon's starting room is easily the most unique in the Zombies series, starting you not on the moon, but rather in Area 51. This space acts outside of the typical round-based formula, as zombies get stronger over time and rounds don't progress by killing them. Additionally, you spawn right next to Pack-a-Punch and a random perk machine, either Juggernog or Speed Cola. Less skilled players might kill a few zombies before bolting to the teleporter as soon as possible. However, veterans of the game have the ability to start training and killing hordes of the undead to earn points to buy a perk or even Pack-a-Punch on what is essentially round 0 before even teleporting to the moon. Once on the moon, the game progresses pretty similar to any other BO1 era map. Kill zombies to earn points to unlock the map, turn on power, buy perks and weapons. The map's wonder weapon and special equipment are all found in the mystery box, no additional quests to unlock anything. Eventually, the player will find themselves teleporting back to Area 51 to upgrade their weapons and buy their missing random perk before heading back to the moon to survive the rounds. In this respect, Moon doesn't deviate much from the typical formula, and I think it's to the map's benefit. The added wrinkle of Area 51 and its added freedom to early map progression is perfect in spicing up the formula without detracting from what works. So far, Moon sounds pretty solid, right? Well, let's just enjoy it while it lasts. Yeah. Moon's map layout sucks poopy ass dicks. There's one shortcut in the entire map. One! Oh, I'm sorry, I lied. There's actually only one. Half of a shortcut. From the teleporter next to Mule Kick, you can drop down into the power room, skipping the need to walk through the labs. But this is a one-way shortcut, pal. You want to go back? Better put on your running shoes and hope the 15 Nova Crawlers in the lab don't blow you up. Compare Moon's layout to maps that came before, like Kino der Toten or Doris. Those maps were built around central hub areas, with paths on the map looping back into those hubs, either through map geography or through fast travel systems. This allows the maps to feel expansive without the need for the player to run a marathon to traverse it. The issue of poor map layout on Moon is especially highlighted if you ever take it down. If you want to get all your perks back, assuming you're running Speed Cola and Juggernog, because why wouldn't you? You have to run through the entire map, teleport to Area 51, and teleport back to the moon twice. All running, no shortcuts, on this big-ass map. It's like the developers thought to themselves, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we took the biggest map we've ever made and spread it on a flat plane with next to no diverging paths or overlapping shortcuts? To this day, I don't understand Jimmy Zielinski's obsession with making massive maps and just forgetting to include good fast travel systems.
Ground control to Major Tom.
Spawning in on Area 51, the zombies are more aggressive than is typical for the beginning of a zombies game. With nothing but a starting pistol, it's incredibly difficult to survive even as a skilled player, leading most to just bolt to the teleporter as soon as it's available. After teleporting to the moon, you are bombarded with the most immersive atmosphere COD Zombies has ever crafted since maybe Nocturne and Toten. Your character immediately starts suffocating due to lack of oxygen, forcing the use of the PES system. This allows you to breathe, but in turn, all sounds become extremely muffled, leaving only the sound of your character's breath and the faint growls of the zombies hunting you down. The map starts hot, forcing quick action from the player and placing them in a stressful environment from the start. After the PES is active, things calm down a bit. At this point, the player can start taking in their environment on the moon. It's mostly gray and incredibly bleak, the only source of color being from small lights on the equipment in the rooms. The lack of audio and visual stimulation creates a sense of dread in the player. You are all alone in an unfamiliar location, just you and the zombies trying to kill you. And yes, I will say the visual and audio design is pretty great for immersion on your first few times playing through the map, but it can get a bit annoying after a while. It's really not fun to have some freaky German dude moaning in your ear all game. Additionally, the lack of colors make the map just feel bland. This problem is fixed a bit by the Black Ops 3 version, as they spruced up the environment about the best you could considering you're still on, you know, the moon. But in Black Ops 1, the map is just plain ugly. Additionally, Moon, of course, has lower gravity, leading to completely unique feeling gameplay, as movement from both the player and the zombies is slower and floatier. The anti-gravity, while great for the atmosphere and immersion, are a hindrance to gameplay in my opinion. Every action just feels less snappy and responsive, and the rounds can drag extremely long because of how slow training the zombies can be. Well, why don't you just turn on the power? Then you can train in areas with gravity. Oh, I would love to do that, but I can't unless I'm completely set up, unless I want to deal with...
Warning, excavator pi will cause decompression of tunnel 6.
The goddamn piece of shit pain in my ass excavators. When you turn on the power, these things come down every few rounds to f*** up your day by blocking off areas of the map and permanently disabling oxygen in those areas for the entire game. The only way to stop them is to take the hacker to spawn and turn them off, only for them to come back in a couple rounds anyway. I honestly don't understand what they were thinking with this mechanic. It's just a massive annoyance that breaks up the flow of gameplay no matter what you're doing. They're not fun, they have zero redeemable qualities. I could say the same thing about the boss zombie of this map, the Cosmonaut zombie. Let me ask you this, dear viewer. What makes a good boss zombie? Is it a fun challenge? Maybe a good reward for defeating it? Or maybe it's just good to have some variety in what you're killing every game. Well, the Cosmonaut brings none of this to the table. He's just a slow, unthreatening bullet sponge that is more annoying than challenging. When you get too close, the Cosmonaut grabs you, steals a random perk of yours, and teleports you to a random spot on the map. He doesn't catch you often, but when he does, especially if he's hiding behind a doorway, it is one of the most rage-inducing feelings in Zombies history. Especially if he steals a perk like Jug or Speed Cola, forcing you to teleport back to Area 51, sometimes twice if you have bad luck. In BO3 you can insta-kill him with Deadwire, but in BO1 that luxury does not exist. He's just a less rewarding, less cool version of George Romero from Call of the Dead. Oh, and the Nova Crawlers are back. And they teleport now. Does anybody care? They bunch up at the top of the stairs in the lab and create a death trap. Is that fun? No? Whatever. Alright, let's talk about some actual good new features. The Hacker is a new equipment that you can grab in place of your PES system, that creates a ton of cool interactions. You can hack perk machines to refund purchases. Hacking the Pack-a-Punch machine will create walls that protect you from zombies. You can get cheaper mystery box spins, rebuild barriers, turning power-ups into max ammos, the list goes on. It's honestly one of the coolest gadgets in the game. I'm surprised it hasn't come back in some form. We also have this map's wonder weapon, the dual-wield zap guns. This weapon's pretty sick. It's 2 pistols that shoot death rays that sound like I'm cosplaying Buzz Lightyear. But combine them to the wave gun, and the real fun starts. You shoot a microwave beam that cooks zombies from the inside out, doing infinite damage and making a ding sound effect when they explode. Combining this with Gersh devices and the hacker for max ammos creates a super fun and fast high round strategy, even if the excavators try and ruin it. Moon also introduces the QEDs, which are a gambler's favorite dream.
Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it!
Its effect is completely random. Sometimes it does nothing. Other times it creates an AAT effect. Sometimes it gives you a free perk. It's just one massive dice roll of an equipment slot. Oh, and if you like gambling, then you are going to love how much RNG is in
Space Girl, show me the stars.
So, let's get this out of the way from the start. Moon's Easter egg is so RNG dependent it hurts. First, you need the excavator to destroy Tunnel 6, which can already set you back a good 10 rounds if you have bad luck. Then, you need to spin the mystery box for the wave gun, Gersh devices, QEDs, then Gersh devices again. So RNG can completely make or break an Easter egg attempt. But beyond that, I think Moon's Easter egg is actually pretty good. There's no annoying steps that make it a slog to get through, and it's really not the hardest egg to do. The Samantha Says minigame is pretty fun, especially if you have a friend watch the zombies for you. Other than that, it's pretty basic. Throw some equipment, hold square, fill up some soul boxes, classic zombie steps. The real fun of this Easter egg comes from the storyline implications. This is where Moon's impact on zombies is still felt the most to this day. The Moon Easter egg is the first where you really feel like your actions have consequences for the world of the game and for the storyline going forward. Richtofen swaps bodies with Samantha to gain control of the zombies, and you shoot missiles that blow up the earth. It's this Easter egg that directly sets up everything in the Victus storyline in Black Ops 2, and beyond that, it's just pretty freaking sick. I mean, you blow up a planet, come on now, that's cool. And now that I think about it, Moon's Easter egg is kind of synchronistic with the map as a whole. Incredible spectacle, with additions and events that will drastically affect the future of COD Zombies, but lackluster, if not outright frustrating gameplay that prevents the total package from being a true classic like it has the potential to be.
I wanna go to the moon. Don't leave so soon.
Dude, I hate Moon so much. It's hard to put into words how much I hate Moon. The RNG is ridiculous sometimes. I feel like I can barely get the wave gun on most games, and Gersh devices too. Seriously, who decided to put the excavators in the game? They serve no purpose other than to be annoying. And you're telling me the astronaut's a good boss zombie? It's so bad. And the Nova Crawlers coming back are just lazy. They add nothing. They literally just create a death trap in the middle of the lab for no reason. I mean, why? I don't understand what they were thinking with this map. It could be so good. You're playing on the moon. That should be the coolest thing ever. And it's just... Ah! So yeah, I don't like Moon. The map layout is poor, the setup for high rounds and the Easter egg is beyond tedious, and most of the new features it brings to the table are more annoying than they are fun. I think it's a shame we never saw a proper remake of Moon beyond Chronicles, because I see the potential there. A lot of the features I've complained about just have some kinks that need to be ironed out, because they detract from what could be a great map. Things like the hacker, the fun high round, the great story, they're all held back by unnecessary garbage that squander what the map is trying to do. So with all that being said, is Moon the worst zombies map ever? No, not by a long shot. At least not when maps like Voyage of Despair and Die Rise exist. But it's probably my personal least favorite map, and is an objectively bad map. Thanks for watching.